don't know who need to hear this, but fellas, the woman is the program. You're not the program. That's why you're not bigger than the program. The woman is the program, twin. If you think you the program, that means every nigga's the program. So you just walk around, you see a nigga like, hey, yeah, he the program. No, nigga, the woman is the program, and you're never bigger than the program. Look,
Was it? Listen, I'm laughing because the logic is so faulty, right? And the fact that we can get on here and we can say whatever you want, right? We can say whatever we want, and then the second round of fun comes when you just look into the comments. If your logic is saying that, hey, you just look like if all these other men, they're the program. So you think by contrast, then every other woman would be the program. All you really need to do is open your eyes. Just open your eyes and see that everyone has their own program. Everyone has their own goals and ambitions and what they're supposed to do here. And a lot of us simply fail. A lot of us simply just fail. Or if the program, the goals of the program may be so ineffectual, so inefficient that what we look at success doesn't really matter. When you let someone else, when you put it on someone else, well, she's a program. Where's she supposed to lead you? In fact, the women are constantly telling you they don't want to lead. So what program are we talking about? We must have different definitions of program. That's what it has to be. That's what it has to be. Because if you actually understood what it meant, or the way I look at it, and I've got to give people grace, and for that, we just have different opinions of what it's supposed to mean, how it's supposed to go. But there's no way on this earth where I'm simply looking at a woman and saying that's the program. No. I have to have my own intrinsic program planning. This is a strategy. This is what it is. You can meet someone else with the same level of program, same level of goals and ambitions, and you guys decide we're going to get together and we're going to decide how we're going to move this forward. You get with someone that doesn't have that level of experience, that level of drive, that level of competence. What are you supposed to do with that? How are you supposed to make something of that? Simply looking and saying that your life, right? And this is genderless. Your life is simply to be enslaved or to be subjugated into someone else's plan, program with no sort of input. You're just there to help them accomplish something. That doesn't really make any sense. That doesn't really make any sense with how things are today. This is just when men say this is simp behavior, this is exactly what they mean. That you want to believe, or you have been programmed, or you have put forth that your job is simply to follow. Your job, you were put on this earth simply to say, whatever she wants, I'm supposed to make that happen. But listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. We're still going strong, still trying to do 2 a day, even though the algorithm is different. That being said, there's neither here nor there. We continue, we persevere. When we see, and this is, again, whenever you're looking at the next generation coming up, the Gen Z, when you're looking, sometimes you see stuff that you're like, okay, great. They seem to be getting it. We seem to be moving on the right path. But sometimes you also get the opposite. We've covered a couple different young men who simply wanted to still go the Derek Jackson route. That is a happy wife, happy life. That's what you're supposed to do. If you just make it seem, we're going with his thinking, that women in the program, you're never bigger than the program, then that means every woman on this planet, everyone, you should pay fealty to, you should pay homage to, rather than saying, I need to be better and evaluate. Same thing with a woman. You've got to evaluate who you're deciding that this is a person I'm going to be with. This is a person I'm going to spend time with. This is a person where I'm going to see how can I help enrich, enliven, and help them get to their goals because I expect them to do the same things for me. That's the program. But some people, and we're being fair, we're being realistic, right? So we zoom in. Some people don't have that. Not everyone's an entrepreneur. Not everyone's a CEO. You may have the desires of it. You may say you want to do that. You may believe this is in your future. This is what it's supposed to be. It's in your destiny. It's in the cards. It's in the stars. But reality is very different. We have a stratified society by money, by IQ, by height, by whatever metric you want to use. This is not to say you don't have any worth, but your ceiling is not the same as someone else's ceiling. And these things sometimes happen because of socioeconomic conditions, place of birth, time of birth, right? What were your parents into? What type of leg up did they give you, or none at all? This is not to say that you cannot rise up, but we're looking statistically. We're looking and saying, yeah, we're not all going to be there. We're not all going to be CEOs. Some of us have to be cogs in the machine. Some of us have to be cogs in the machine that is the economy. You can't tell me that a woman is supposed to be my program when I see her with 5 or 6, 7, kids with 8 baby daddies, because one's impossible. You can't tell me that's the program. That's not my program. That for some man on that same level, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But going around with this idea that you're simply supposed to submit yourself to women around you, I think is foolhardy, especially when you actually listen to what they're saying. They don't want to be traditionally so. They don't want to be at the head of the ship. They want to be part of it. They want to be there. They want to have a say. They want to help say, yeah, this is this and this and this. But that leadership position, that pressure, that masculine side of things, they're constantly saying that's not what they want to do. They have to do it. Not saying they can't do it. They have to do it because they feel that the men around them are lacking in that sense. Your program cannot be to simultaneously drive the car, gas the car, wash the car, and then have this person. What do they do? Simply them being there is enough. It pains me to see how we end up falling for the same sort of cyclic sort of programming that we did before. We're supposed to be aware of history. We're supposed to use that as a divining rod and saying, this is why you don't do this. This is how you end up doing better. But it's difficult when we're ignoring those things because it feels good. It feels like society rewards you when you say things like that. The comment section is one of the first and easiest pointers of, yeah, there's a reward. People simply agreeing with everything you have to say. But in reality, we don't really tell the truth here. We don't get to see how is that working out for you. People that are echoing this, that are saying this, what is actually happening in their real lives? Are they saying this quietly from them being married, them being happily married, and simply saying this online to make other women feel better? Other men saying this in hopes that they'll get the attention from other women and use that to say, well, this is how I got, I got this shorty. Men, we see the type of game. We see all this coming. It's the same thing when Derek Jackson first took the scene. I remember getting videos, being sent those videos and saying, like, you can't see through this. Not saying that he was doing something else, but the pandering. Whomever comes to you and tells you exactly what you want to hear all the time and doesn't challenge you, doesn't push you, doesn't say, hey, you may be wrong about this, this, or that, isn't actually looking out for you. You should be doing the same thing to people that you actually love and care about. My friend group, we challenge each other, say, yeah, you're kind of wrong on that. Hey, you may be a little off in the weeds here. Let's help you bring you back. You're supposed to entrust in some people in your life to cut through the ego when they give you that critical advice. But when left alone, society will raise you. Social media will raise you. They'll tell you this is exactly how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to simply say, yeah, my job is just to make a woman happy. A lot of us went through that phase and we realized what happens on the other end of that. You lose who you are. You don't make her happy. Chasing that sort of happiness, trying to make someone else happy is a never-ending marathon. That's supposed to come from within. You just can't be, well, they're the program, and my job is to make them happy. Nah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Not every woman's a program. Not every man's a program. Some of us have to work at it to even deserve to say, you got to be on my program. This silliness where you say, I run a strict program. You can do whatever you want with your life. Time and results are going to tell the tale. That's it. A lot of this, if we had a crystal ball to look 10 years into the future, you probably see like, damn, I wish I made better decisions 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But when I come across men like this, yeah, sometimes you just say, all right, you're young, you'll learn. And maybe we'll all be proven wrong. Maybe we'll run up and be like, oh no, he was right. Maybe we'll learn something from this. I'm open to either way how this turns out. if you got something to add, let me know down in the comments. If you see videos on your screen right now, take a look at those. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And if you listen to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. Trying to build something dope.